Hey guys, Cam315 back at it with another video for you guys, and I am back talking some more Clevatess. Apologies for missing episode three's review, but I guess in a weird way, it's kind of conjunctured in this episode. Even though morally, I'm gonna be talking about episode four altogether, right? But apologies for missing out on episode three. Just got lazy and stuff like that. Work also got in the way, but you get my point, right? And then obviously obviously the episode comes out on a Thursday, which it's a typical work day for me. So by the time I get into, or no, Wednesday, um, it typically comes out, as I'm working, right? Or as as I'm getting up. So there's no chance. And typically, the thing is I record when I get back home from work around like 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's kind of the whole thing there. But I know people were probably wondering, hey, where's my freaking Clevatess review? Because I've been reviewing the last two episodes and I've been liking it. So there's that. But the last two episodes were crazy, man. The last two episodes were crazy. Episode three was just crazy from the standpoint. One, so we know Alicia didn't die, right? And the fact that where she basically like got her body back to being normal, it was disgusting hearing the cracks and the body coming back to normal and fixing itself and everything. And then Clevitus like, your job here is to kill these people, right? You kill the bandits, kill all of them, right? Even though it's something that Alicia doesn't want to do, she has no choice to do it, right? But just hearing her body just get back and get fixed back to normal, and you hear all like the bones like getting back to made again and everything and re-healed, and you just hear the cracking and the everything, and I'm just like, oh goodness, yeah. Like again, like I said before, this anime ain't for the faint of heart. Like it is damn near gory. It is damn near a dark anime, gory shit, right? So just hearing that and the fact that even Alicia was like, bro, my body feels in pain every time I have to do that. But hey, that's kind of the thing I have to deal with, right? And that whole thing leads mostly into next week's episode because she has no weapon and she like takes like this freaking dagger from one of the bandits, but it's doing nothing. And she realizes, no, I need to go get that regalia in the water. But I know there's freaking the freaking sea monsters, the dark sea monsters in there. So she basically uses a decoy, right? And then she gets into a barrel and she basically sinks herself, basically drowning herself. And she said, I'm gonna drown myself if I have to, if it means I got to freaking if I gotta get this freaking ancient sword, right? And then meanwhile, Clevitus, he went after the freaking boss man, right? And essentially the boss dude um basically had Nell right then and there. And again, last week, thank God, last week will probably be the last time we ever see Nell get abused like that before, because this is a poor girl, right? She gets tricked, and the damn dark monster that this damn boss man and the bandits have been controlling, right? Basically, at first I was legitimately shocked. I'm like, wait, she went out like that? I'm like, no shot. They already killed Nell off like that. But I'm like, well, maybe if she somehow gets out of there, maybe, Clevitus can bring her back to life in some way, like he did with Alicia. Um, yeah, we kind of see what happens. Like, she was half, like, digested already. And I'm just like, what the absolute hell, bro? When she got spit out, I'm just like, dude, what in the hell? Because when in episode four, she basically gets brought back fully, you're like, wow, okay, that's good. So there's that, right? But then you have it to where you have it to where the boss of the bandits, he like spreads this magic ability, right, that weakens dark monsters, right? So that kind of what's led into that basically was what's led into episode four, right? So episode four, we see Alicia sinking down, and it gets to the point where she's like, Jesus, I feel like it's actually painful to try when you realize like, oh shit, I'm running out of air. Now listen, I do not incentivize people to go in a pool or go into the ocean and forcefully try to, I guess, see the feeling or feel the feeling of what it's like to almost damn near drown and kill yourself, right? Don't do that, please. But the fact that you could see like she like the eyes got all bloodshot red essentially, and the fact that she's like, bro, you know, this is what it feels like to freaking basically drown, where you need to gasp for air, but I know what I gotta do. Um, Surprisingly, it seems like she held her breath under the water until she had to get what she needed to get. She may have like passed out one time and then essentially regained herself, but you get the point, right? But she was struggling down there. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I hope they're not gonna do the thing where she drowns, she grabs a sword, she drowns, but then she gets back up and something like that. So that was crazy, right? She kept her consciousness, but then as she gets the freaking legendary sword, right? You thought like, oh, those other monsters were just it, right? No, there was one big gigantic dark monster. Kind of, I forgot what they called in the episode because it's been a day since I last watched the episode, but it sounded like it was like damn near essentially what you would see like in a boss monster. Probably not up to the level of what Clevatess we saw with Clevatess, but probably somewhere beneath him, right? Where it's still like super powerful because Alicia even said in the episode after she got out of this, like, even with this sword, I would still not to be able to defeat that thing. Like, I would need other heroes with regalias to probably help me defeat that thing. Which is crazy to say how strong that one thing is, but that thing was crazy. Like, it got it to the point where it sucked her in and it chomped her, but then she cut out of it and everything. And then she's using the sword to basically propel herself up to the freaking surface so she can get some air. And she's cutting through things. I'm like, yes, I knew Alicia needs to join the new waifu tier that I got, because she is best girl. She is waifu material. Nell is definitely most best girl and must protect, right? But Alicia is a badass waifu. Badass waifu. Always love it when I watch anime. We have a badass girl character. I always like that. I know we live in this society today where if you get that in any form of media, whether that's movie or shit like that, people always say, oh, it's fucking woke shit. We always have to portray women as some strong dude, you know, that is stronger than the men. I have no issues with that. As long as the character is good, they're compelling, and I like the character, I have no issues with it. But, you know, we live in this modern day society that people think like, oh, women in a lead role, that's just a sign of wokeness or whatever. No, it isn't. It's just something, and mostly it's just because people, you don't like that. Anyways, anyways, she gets out of it, right? And it's funny how she gets out of there like, what the hell? She grabbed the legendary sword. And then they immediately see her coughing up, like, damn near basically essentially throwing up all the water she ingested. And they're like, what in the fuck is this girl? They're like, they're like, who is this girl? Right? But then the big gigantic boss monster, dark monster comes out, basically kills damn near all. And then you get this funny scene where the bandits that were kind of torturing her, right? We're like, please, just save us, please. I promise we'll do anything for you. Please, 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 just save us. Alicia gave them a look like, yeah, I probably should save them because that's the heroic thing to do. But these guys did treat me pretty rudely, so yeah, no, that's not happening. Which that was crazy. I'm like, that was crazy within itself when she straight up said that. She was like, yeah, fuck that. Which honestly, to be honest, I was watching the episode. I'm like, bro, just leave these dudes. Like, who the fuck cares if these dudes die? Like, I don't care. I'm like, they did rough things. They did harsh things to you. Why should you care? And she ended up leaving, right? And Cleva ended up actually contacting Alicia saying like, hey, you need to get here right now because there's a shit that you need to tell me about, because he realized like this is freaking magic stuff. He ended up like defeating the magic beast or the dark beast, right, fairly easily, but he couldn't catch up to the bandit because of the magic within the area, right? So you have it where the boss of the bandits, he's running along the dark trail, right? And basically he sees Nell with the baby, and then he realizes something special about the baby. The baby basically enhances magic because I forgot what race it is, but he's basically signified like, oh no, this baby is very special, right? So then, but the thing is, Nell basically held on to his coat because she still had some consciousness of like, no, I'm not letting you take this baby away, right? Um, Eventually, Alicia shows up to meet up with Clevatess. Clevatess is like, "What the hell took you so long? What the hell is this?" Now, one, she's like, "Look, dude, I ran as fast as I could. You'd think I'm some Sonic the Hedgehog character, right? Also, this is magic, right? And we see this magic kind of affects dark monsters, but not humans and everything. So at first I thought he was going to like punish her, but no, that's kind of the thing. But the thing is, we basically find out like, no, Clevatess is only doing what he's doing because that baby is still alive. So if Luna essentially dies at any point in this story, Clevatess is like, okay, cool. I'm going back to destroying all of humanity, and it just shows me humanity just needs to be destroyed. Because remember, he promised this person to take care of Luna, to see the right side of humanity, and we have an idea, or we have his whole thing is actually, he wants to see what humanity is. Does it deserve to live, or is it bad? And he wants to figure out everything about it before he makes to an ultimatum, judgment. But then he made that chilling statement of saying, yeah, if that baby dies by whatever reasons, everything's dead. It's over. Humanity will be a loss. And it's like, oh, that's an interesting take. So it's basically this monster's got to be convinced, like, okay, not all humans are bad. Yes, there's some bad humans, but not all humans are bad. Just get rid of the bad ones. The good ones are still out there, right? But this baby dies. All y'all MFers are dying, which is crazy. So you have to wonder if we're going to be put in a situation where maybe the baby does die. I don't think Luna's going to die, because why would they do that? Because then Clevatess would just be like, okay, cool, whatever. But it would be, since this is a dark anime, it would be a dark anime trope to just be like, okay, no, eventually at some point Luna will die. But we'll see. Does this anime have the heart to kill a baby off? I have no clue. But regardless, they catch up with the boss, and he's just, so basically, Alicia tries to basically kind of gambles, like, look, give us a baby, I'll give you the regalia. Now essentially dude is like, well, give me all 13 regalia if you know where they are. And essentially she tells him like the location, because Clevatess is like, yeah, go ahead, tell him. But the thing is, since dude knows like this is a special baby with special talent, like he at this point he thinks like it's not a fair deal, which is okay, I guess that makes sense. So he tries to use invisibility magic to escape. Meanwhile, freaking Luna's crying, and then I don't know what the hell this dude was doing, right? Apparently this dude was sneaking away. It's not only the fact that the baby's crying, fine. I thought Luna crying would give him away regardless, right? But the fact that the episode basically said like, oh no, we heard you talking. I'm like, this dude does not know the simple shit of thinking about what you're actually trying to say. This man straight up said like, good, those idiots fell for it. I'm gonna get out of here. And then he's like, oh, and he basically gets cut in half. And Alicia, because he's like, wait, how did you figure out where I was at? Alicia's like, bro, I can hear Luna crying, and then on top of it, I could hear you talking. I saw that, I'm like, you know what? Actually, he deserves to die like that. Acting like a dumbass. Because he looked like a dumbass. So, essentially what happens is, they still need a nurse to take care of Luna to provide, like, obviously, milk, right? And essentially we find out that they can bring Nell back. It's just gonna take everything out of Alicia to do it, especially if she was dead. But the thing is, Alicia sacrifices herself to do it, but in reality, she's still alive because Clev's like, don't worry, she'll wake up in a bit. But because she really wasn't dead, and she still had consciousness, not the full amount had to go in of his blood into Nell. So that's an interesting thing where it's like, okay, if somebody fully dies, he can't legitimately just create a whole army through his blood. It's got to be like one person at a time. So yeah, but the thing is, Alicia is back to consciousness. Nell is back to consciousness and okay, and she's also got a new design, new look. She looks a lot more attractive than she used to. She can actually now talk fluently now, because now she's all got all her teeth and everything. And yeah, hey, last 2 episodes have been bangers. I definitely can't wait to see, what's going to happen next going forward. But yeah, but if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to subscribe for more Clevatess content or any other anime content I upload to the channel and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm gonna get it for guys. Catch you guys in this video, and I will see you guys later. Peace.